Okay, good evening. Welcome to this meeting of the Old Kings Highway Historic District Committee for the Town of Yarmouth, which is being held in accordance with Chapter 470 of the Acts of 1973 as amended at 7:15 p.m. Monday, July 25th, 2022 at the Yarmouth Town Hall Hearing Room located at 1146 Route 28 in South Yarmouth. Moreover, pursuant Chapter 20 of the Acts of 2021, considering certain COVID-19 measures, this meeting is being held in a hybrid mode. There are 13 new applications for certificates of appropriateness that will be heard at this evening's meeting in the order that was listed on the agenda. Please be reminded that our committee's main purpose is to review items for appropriateness and setting, and it's the responsibility of the applicant to comply with the regulations of other town boards and departments, including the building department, conservation, engineering, health, zoning, and the sign inspector. You should also know that there is a 10 calendar day appeal period once a decision is filed with the town clerk. Any person aggrieved by our decision tonight can appeal to the Regional Commission of the Old Kings Highway. Our office administrator will be happy to answer any questions that you have with respect to that process. So this is a long agenda tonight, the longest we've had in about a year. First item is concerning installing 33 solar panels on the roofs of 11 Ridgewood Drive. Jean-Jacques Crismond is the owner, and Trinity Solar is the agent. So do we have Trinity Solar here? Or are they on the, are they on Zoom? I don't see anyone there.
Crismond, nobody, the Jean-Jacques Crismond family are not here? Okay.
Well, if not here, we can,
I move to table the application until the end of the meeting.
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
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 The next item is concerned with installing 5 roadway banners in Route 6A Village. The town of Yarmouth is here. I think there's someone here to represent them.
Kyle, I see,
Yes.
is
Should be on
online.
Zoom. Yes. There he is.
Ah, okay. Kyle Bertocchini.
Hello,
Hello.
Good evening, Kyle.
good evening.
So,
So we're seeking permission tonight to install 5 roadway banners in the Route 6A Village Center area. So the design of the banners, I believe, is in your packet. It's going to be the banner. There's 2 different banner designs, but the one that the CEDC voted to fund was the banner on the left side, which is, I believe it's Captain Navy bluish color, and then it also has Hawthorne yellow and Coventry gray in it. It says "Welcome to Historic Yarmouthport." These banners have been blessed by Eversource, who owns the utility poles. And if we're granted permission tonight, the next step would be to make an application to the Board of Selectmen for their ultimate approval of the project. It's funded through the Town of Yarmouth's Tourism Revenue Preservation Fund, which is overseen by the Community and Economic Development Committee, CEDC. I also included some detail on the attachment equipment, and that is available in either silver or gray, silver or black. So whichever the committee prefers, I actually don't really have a preference myself. But be happy to answer any questions.
Okay. I don't know if they can see this on that. Okay. What they're talking about is putting banners up that would look like this right-hand one. Hanging from the telephone poles. There's 5 of them altogether. And they are 30 inches wide and 60 inches tall,
That's correct.
which is not too big. It's about the size of the table.
I only had one comment, if we're ready for that, Richard.
Yeah,
The, one of the locations, which is in front of, Design Works, that's where, Jack's Out Back is, that
Yeah.
pole.
Right.
And, that's, boy, there's a lot of signage there.
yeah.
So that would be my main concern, is that it's gonna be busy, busy, busy. It's already busy, busy, busy.
Right. And there's a lot of traffic was down and back there for Jack's Outback.
The reason I wanted to include that pole, or we wanted to include that pole, is so it gives it a better kind of aesthetics as you're driving down, so that you have them on kind of both sides of the street. And that's really the only pole in the area, other than the initial one, that's an option in the area. It's also, it's off the street a little bit too. So there's not any concerns with any interference with traffic.
Well, I think it's not great on the pole in front of Design Works.
I think they're larger than I've usually seen in town banners, 30 inches by 60.
They're the same size as the banners that are up in town. You might have seen at the Four Corners area.
What area?
Best River Bridge.
Yeah, they're up by the Four Corners area, by the Bass River Mercantile, and they're also by the Chamber of Commerce and Recreation Building.
So following up on the comment about the location of the banner in front of Design Works, what prompted the decision for 5 banners?
Well, we didn't set out with a specific number in mind, but I walked the street with the Eversource representative, and we tried to find poles that would be suitable to place the banners on. And I also was trying to keep in mind an aesthetic so that it looks like you're entering an area. The purpose of the project is really to give it more of a village center feel. So that's why I wanted to make sure we had banners on both sides of the street. I do like how we have kind of banners on both sides of the street as you enter the village area. And then I think it's kind of nice to have them on both sides of the street as you're driving through the area. Certainly, if it's the commission's prerogative, we could remove the one banner on the 994-11 in front of Design Works. But I personally thought it would look fine. It's not really, it's a little bit like the signage there. There's a little bit of space between the signage and the poles, so it's all not like all one. I understand the concern about the busyness, but the banner will also be, I think it's 8 feet off the ground, and it's the bottom part of the banner needs to be 8 feet above the ground, so it's going to be higher up than the rest of the signage. So that's all I would say to those.
Yeah, well, the message is welcome to.
Exactly.
And so if you had 2 at each end.
Yep.
It would be more in keeping with the message, what you're trying to get across.
I agree. Willow Street and Union Street.
Street's pretty far.
Yeah, that's really is the area in question.
Well, these are I would say that these poles are the ones that we were granted permission for from Eversource. If we were to switch up the poles that we wanted to put them on, it would be a lengthy process to try to get permission from them, but
Well,
and we could do so.
the reasonable thing to do. But just having them in the middle of the town is sort of pointless because in the middle of the town, they should be looking at.
What's in the middle of the town?
Yeah,
Again, these came out of discussions with the business owners in the area, when we had some issues with parking and traffic in the area. And one of the suggestions that came out of those neighborhood meetings was that installing some nice roadway banners would give it more of a village feel and would kind of just kind of subconsciously get people to slow down as they're driving through it. And it would help both the businesses in the area and the residents who have voiced concerns about the speed that they drive through. And once again, it's to give like the whole village center area more of a village center feel.
I think it's, would question the safety, frankly, of putting another sign at the same area where they're all looking for, where is that great restaurant I heard about, Jack's Out Back, and any more stuff to read while they're looking for that is not great.
you know, and the different bed and breakfasts, inns.
Isn't it, well,
Again, these banners are going to be higher up. They're not really going to be on the same level as the roadway signs.
yeah, but it's a matter of trying to take in information. And you're creating more information that whoever's trying to find Jack's Out Back is now trying to take in.
I personally don't think you're giving people enough credit. They can.
I have a hard time finding Jack's Out Back. I live in Yarmouth, so then I guess I'm guilty because I don't want any more confusion about where, and even the parking issue. I go to the lighthouse, the light keepers, and it's hard to find out which is their driveway. And, you know, it was great when we could park out front, and I understand the neighbors don't want that anymore. And so we have to make changes. But it's a very confusing area, and traffic is not slowing at this point. So I don't think welcome to the Yarmouth historic area is going to slow down the traffic. It's just going to make people who are trying to figure out where to turn slow down, which maybe is a good thing. But I don't think it's solving the problem.
I really agree. I agree with all the aforementioned observations, and especially with the one made by the chairman that these are the sentiment here is welcome to. These are gateway signs, so why not post the banners at the gateway locations? That, to me, that makes perfect sense. And you don't have the problems that that Elizabeth referenced. I would really strongly suggest that the locations be modified to reflect our observations.
We had a long list of abutters. Is there anyone here? There's two gentlemen. Do you want to
Great.
speak on this?
Let's hear from you.
You can go up to the microphone, please.
There may be people filming too.
Just, give me a name for the record. And
Greg Bilizikian, Lighthouse Keepers Pantry, 173 Route 6A, Yarmouthport. We share the Historical Society's interest in preserving the historical nature of the village. We support the town's desire to promote Yarmouthport through measures such as proposed banners. Both serve an important role in attracting visitors and locals alike. So we would appreciate the opportunity to review the banners as they will be placed near our buildings. We're supportive of the concept, but we raised the related topic of the orange and white plastic barricades that were placed in front of our building by the Yarmouth Police Department to prevent parking. These are unsightly, not keeping with the historic nature of Route 6A, and not welcoming, all of which are entirely counter to the purpose of these proposed new banners. The town has an obligation to come before the historic to see approval for the signage designed to promote and attract visitation. We request the historical board similarly exercise its authority to identify signage solutions that are both public safety and aligned with the mandate to preserve the village character.
thank you.
Thank you.
I think what the police department does is beyond our purview. I think.
I don't know about that. I mean, that's,
Yeah.
it is historical. This is Yarmouthport.
No, we can't.
I mean, it's ugly and it's not welcoming.
I agree. I fully
mean,
agree.
Why can't we come up with a solution that suits the historic nature of Yarmouthport? I mean, who else is going to come up with it? Who else is going to help? They asked us to put planters up in front of the building. It's not our place to pick. But someone has to have the historical vision to put something together that makes sense for the people that come to visit. It is a matter of safety. We 100% agree, but it also has to be in keeping with the town, the vision, Yarmouth Port as a village center, and you're the body there. You're the historical body. So please, come up with a recommendation or work with us to come up with a solution.
There's another gentleman in the back there.
My name is Charles Clark. I was owner of Hallett Store. And I know a thing about signs because I had a controversy several years ago on my sign. And the keeping with the historical part of Yarmouth is not trying to make it look like 28. We're going to have a total change when they rip up the curbs, replace the sidewalks, and do a lot of things that people are not going to like. And getting along with our neighbors is a controversy that's taking hold. And we now have barricades in the roads that I'm opposed to. I have run a business for multiple years, and there was always a solution that we'd all get along and we'd all find a way. And what I'm seeing is the town in Yarmouth as a village is crumbling. People are not going to like the end results. And there was a petition years ago to not change any of the characteristics of Yarmouth, keep the curbs low cut, keep an appropriate walking sidewalk, and slow the traffic down. You're doing just the opposite. Traffic now is at twice the speed because there's no things slowing it down. Now, if you're going to make people get along, you got to start with what's been happening. There's several changes that are going to occur in the Yarmouth. The bank is now going to be a full operations center. It's going to inquire a lot of cars coming and going. And when you change any of the other buildings that are coming in there, we want to preserve the historical characteristics of Yarmouth. This is not the way to do it. We don't want it to look like 28. We've been avoiding that for years. The banners will eventually wear out and they're going to change them to something else, and they're going to change them to something else. You don't want to have something ongoing. And it's not promoting any of the businesses. It's just, in my mind, a waste of funds that could be better appropriated for something that would make more sense.
Charles,
Yeah.
what was your last name?
Clark,
And do you own a business there now?
Hallett Store.
Oh, it's
Hallett's.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
been there a while.
Huh. Is there a group of you that are right now talking about these changes and these?
I just
issues?
found out tonight what the sign was going to look like. I kept asking, I kept going online. There was no information available until I approached the woman over here. She was kind enough to show me what we were going to see. It seems like everything's closed mouth. I've asked the town multiple times, when are they going to start the construction on 6A and do any of the sidewalk stuff? I've had no reply from anybody in the town. And I was asking for the amount of parking they're going to leave available for the businesses. No reply from any of the people from the town. They're anti-business right now. And this is what I find that Yarmouth has always been. You got to encourage businesses, because when you approve a business to come into the town, they're expected to be able to do the business without have to changing their business after they establish it. We have a very limited scope, and there were very, I think, wide recommendations over the years. I've been there a long time, and every time we recommended something, the town would ignore it. To increase a parking area, to buy land to do parking, there was state funds for that. There was multiple things the town could have done. They just keep ignoring it. And you got to remember, we get now, Lyceum Hall was an historical building. The town sold it. And of course, now we got other things that are coming up. And I don't want to get into what other societies are planning on doing, but, it's not what the characteristics of Yarmouth Port was supposed to be,
Good, thank you.
Thank
Okay,
I wonder if Kyle wants to respond on behalf of the town.
Well, to be honest, I came here tonight prepared to speak to this application. A lot of those comments kind of veered off of this specific application. I would say to Mr. Clark, I have not been contacted with any of those questions or specific concerns. I'd be happy to talk to him. I would kind of beg to differ that we're anti-business. I'm the town's economic development coordinator. I'm always happy to hear any concerns or questions voiced from the business community. And I hope he contacts me this week. I'd be happy to follow up on some of those questions for him.
Okay, do we need a motion?
I would, before moving, I would suggest, Kyle, that my inclination is to table the application, to have you and the town review it in light of the comments made here tonight, particularly those by the panel, but the comments made by the audience as well. I don't sense a move to approve this application as it currently stands. I think speaking for myself, but my sense of the committee is that we would like the number of signs reduced, that they be installed at the gateways, as indicated, the junction of Willow Street and 6A, Union Street and 6A, and not to have signs within the historic district between those two parameters. So before I move, I wonder what your thinking might be with regard to what I've said.
Well, honestly, like I said, this was kind of a team effort that came out of some public meetings that we identified specifically the village center area we wanted to install these signs.
Kyle, could you speak up, please?
I'm sorry, I'm speaking. Yeah, I guess simply put, we had not discussed the whole gateway concept, and that really wasn't our intention. The intention was to highlight the village center area. If the committee feels that's not appropriate at this time, that's obviously your prerogative. I don't really understand, know the protocols that well, whether it should be just denied or tabled. I suppose if we have the option to go back to the drawing board, again, it's kind of beyond just my control, whether or not that's something we want to do. But if tabling that makes it easier, then sure, that sounds like a better solution.
Can I ask Kyle to, you mentioned public meetings. Can you be a little bit, where were they? Who was involved?
Yep, we had a series of public meetings recently with both residents and the business owners regarding, again, the parking and traffic issues in the Route 6A area. We actually did have one with just the business owners that took place in the Lighthouse Keeper's Pantry. Mr. Bilzikian was kind enough to host us there.
You're shaking your heads, yes, good. Maybe it would be in the future, if there are other meetings in such an important historic district, you include this body or a representative from this body.
Yep, I can certainly pass that along.
So anyway, rather than moving to deny the application, because I'm not opposed in concept to what you're proposing, I will instead move to table the application, requesting that the town reconsider the number and the location of the signs in accordance to what's been discussed here tonight.
Okay, thank you.
One other thing, Kyle, we're talking about these signs, and we're talking about bringing attention to the center of the village. And in the center of the village, we have these issues that the store owners have discussed about orange cones in the middle of it, totally defacing the look of the area. I think much more has to be done. Signs welcoming people to Yarmouth Port isn't the biggest problem here.
Well said.
And I think things have to be done before that to get Yarmouth Port where it was, with the sidewalks intact the way they were 2 years ago, get rid of the orange cones, and then we'll talk about welcome to Yarmouth, Yarmouth Port. So did you move yet?
I did.
I'm going to second to table this with the statements of the business owners in mind, as well as the location of the
Banner.
banners.
Okay, it's been seconded. All in favor of tabling this?
Aye.
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 Thank you.
Okay,
Posted.
Next item is also concerned with installation of solar panels. 11 solar panels on the rear roof of 135 Union Street. Carolyn Tasha is the owner, and Trinity Solar, again, is the agent. Maybe we'll have better luck with this. Nobody's raising their hand.
Nobody on Zoom that we don't recognize? Renew by renew,
We may have to table this one too.
I guess not.
I move to table till the end of the meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you. Next item is for 21 Azalea Lane. It's the installation of 13 solar panels on the rear roof. Jennifer Wallace is the owner, and Isaacson Solar is the agent. This is a new agent to us. We have never seen this group before. And they're not here, so we still won't
Nobody
know them.
from,
Anybody up there?
Azalea?
There we go.
Someone's,
Matt Sly.
Hello.
hi,
Hey, good evening. This is Matt Sly from Isaacson Solar. How are you?
good.
Good, thank you.
Would you like to read off or can I start?
We saw it. It's a tiny little house with a tiny little installation.
Right.
It is in their picture and you're very transparent. You say you can maybe see it from Azalea. And I would have to say, yes, if you look really hard, you might see it. So that's my thought. My feeling would be that it is in accordance with being, it is not even minimally visible. You'd have to look really.
Are there any
Alright,
abutters
that's-
here? No abutters.
any abutters or interested parties? I move to approve the application.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
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 aye. So, thank you, Matt.
Thank you so much for your time, everyone. Have a great evening.
You too.
Okay, so we can sign this.
Oops, thank you.
The next item is concerned with replacing windows at 9 Bell of the West Road. Ken Evans is the owner and Patrick Jacobs is the agent.
Good evening.
Hi,
How are you?
good.
All right, good. Patrick Jacobs, I'm the agent for Mr. and Mrs. Evans. We're looking to replace 8 windows.
Right,
We're looking to go with, transition from white to black. Have the grills in the glass, the fine light. You have the cut sheet on the windows with the showing that the upper sash will have the 6/0.
right. 6/1.
Or 6/1, sorry. And yeah, that's what we're looking to do.
So when you say going from white to black, can you be more specific?
Doesn't windows are
Yep,
white.
the exterior clad of the windows now are painted white.
Mhm.
We're just looking to do a Anderson 400 series vinyl clad with a black color. The grills and the glass will be black on the from the exterior.
Those will be black
They'll be
on the exterior, and from the interior will be white.
correct. Yep.
It's a big change in the sense that 6/1 is a lot different from 12/8, which is what's there now.
Correct.
So it looks very Cape Cod-ish the way it is right now. And to go to black 6/1 gets to be very contemporary looking.
Is that the reason for it?
It is to keep the historic look. The neighbor's house has black Anderson windows. I think were approved by the board 2 years ago.
Mhm.
Not by me, but some other contractor. And they have the black windows with the grills and the glass. We could go around and take many pictures of newer windows in the area that have the same style.
And then it
Whether
would still have the black shutters?
Yep, they're going to leave the shutters. Yep.
That's gonna be a lot of black.
The whole house is entirely white. I left. There are a few pictures there.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I don't know. I might not like it, but I don't know that it's,
Well, I think given the age of the house and the location of the house, the change is neither up nor down, sort of lateral. I'm indifferent to it, frankly. Are there any abutters or other interested party here?
What do you do with this window?
I mean, the picture window?
Picture window?
Yep. So if you look on the cut sheet of the windows that I think I put in everyone's packet, it kind of shows you the grill pattern.
So it still does have grills, because there's one in here that doesn't.
Correct.
Okay.
I do have 2 pictures of houses that are within 100 yards of that house that have brand new windows, that are picture windows that have no, and I could bring those up to you if you'd like, that have no grills in the picture window.
Yeah, you should show us what you have.
Yeah, sure. No problem.
But now I'm confused. Will there be grills or no?
We'd like to have no grills in the picture part.
So if it's gonna be going from the grills as it is now to no grills.
Correct.
Oh.
So, I'm sorry, I don't have full copies.
That's all right.
No, we can pass over. Okay. And it has the black shutters.
Yeah, this is no grills in that one. And that
Okay.
picture window as well.
Huh.
I prefer the grills, but
Yeah.
were they permitted?
I don't
Say
remember.
again? Oh, was this approved? We don't know either.
What are you doing with the window on the side with
No,
the
no,
grill? Same
this
thing?
is
You,
the
you don't want
comment.
grills in that one either?
Certainly, I don't know.
People do it on their own.
But the side windows will have grills.
So these wonderful wood. Yeah.
What is the age of the house? When was it built?
70s.
70s.
That whole area was developed.
Mr. and Mrs. Evans, they're very, they want to keep the historic look. They've done a lot of research to try to keep with what they've seen in the neighborhood. They are very concerned about that. They're not opposed to having those in the picture windows if that is what the board's decision.
Do they
Well-
think having no grills is more historic looking than having grills?
Yeah, it's contradictory.
Yeah, I don't really know. I never actually asked that question.
Well, that you're saying that if they want to keep the historic look, which implies that you're going to keep what's there.
Right.
Which means the grills, windows with grills.
Well,
If you want to change them to no grills, and your interpretation of that is keeping that in line with the historic.
Right.
I don't
so
remember this ever
they're
coming
looking to have
before
a
us.
historic look that
Hmm.
you see around town.
Where's
They're not
this?
looking to duplicate
Where
what
is
they
this
have
house?
here.
In the
Mhm.
neighborhood,
They would like to have no grills.
Can't
because
tell
it's a
what,
little better view of the street,
there's no
yard,
grills.
Right, but I think that's not
Well,
the
well,
keeping the
well.
historic look. The historic look is what it is. We
well,
want to change the historic look.
maybe,
Just want to conform with the rest of
okay. Yeah,
Well,
laying
Yeah.
aside the issue of historic, which I think is a confusion. So,
well, the thing is
Sure.
that area was developed, it's in back of the firehouse. And that was developed around in the 60s and 70s. And there must be 50 houses in there, at least. You know, and to say that two of them have black windows, and therefore this should be black windows. The other 40 houses don't. And that house never came before us. I would have remembered that because of the porch and everything. So they just did it on their own, and they're in violation. And if we sent them a letter of violation, they'll end up here, and then we'd tell them to put grills in. I mean, it looks like it doesn't belong in the neighborhood, that house. And I don't want this one to go down the same path.
Sounds like from your representation, though, that the Evans family is not totally against having the grills. So maybe that
Correct.
solves the problem.
Correct. No, I mean, they would prefer not to have them.
Right.
They're not opposed to it.
Yeah.
You know,
well, I'm going to play devil's advocate here for a second. So if we are not opposed to the change in grill patterns on the other windows, then to my way of thinking, all of that grill work on the picture window becomes incongruous. It either should be all one way or all the other way. That's my own feeling. So, so I guess I'd like a sense of the committee as to how we feel about the alteration of the windows from 8 over, what is the current? 12 over 8.
The thing is that they don't make 12 over 8s very frequently anymore.
Yeah.
So everybody wants, they don't even like 8 over 8.
Yeah.
They want to do 6 over 6. That's the cheapest route. And anything else gets to be custom made and takes a lot longer to get them,
Mhm.
an extra cost. So I can see going to a 6 over 6 instead of 12 over 8. But I would still keep them white.
Mhm.
And the windows, picture windows, and the grills on the windows adjacent to the picture windows should be all compatible.
Yeah.
In terms of dimensions. you
Right.
know.
So how do
Did you
How
say
do you
the
feel
others are
about-
going to be 6 over 1? The
Six-
other windows 6 over 1?
correct.
Okay, then you're right. I think the front window doesn't matter.
Yeah, if my own feeling is if we approve the modification of the other windows to either 6 over 6 or 6 over 1, then the grill pattern on the picture window becomes busy. I think there should be, I think that
Mhm.
your point is exactly right. We should have less grill work or no grill work, one or the other. And I don't have a very strong feeling one way or the other about it, frankly. But I do think that compatibility with the surrounding, the houses and the surrounding houses in the neighborhood would be desirable. So maybe the main thing is the color and not the grill pattern.
I mean, if you'd like, I could, I don't know if you've all taken a ride through the neighborhood. I could take pictures of every house in the neighborhood and show you the grill patterns and the colors of the windows if you would like. I have no problem doing that. That might change the board's opinion.
I had a hospice patient lived in Illinois. And so I made several visits to that area. I'm familiar with it.
So you're aware.
I defer to my more experienced colleagues.
So maybe we should table this and have them discuss it with the homeowners.
Okay. All right, I move to table the application for that purpose.
Second,
Okay, all in favor of tabling this to get
aye.
homeowner to get clarification?
Aye.
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 Not I.
Were you
Well-
here, you were here last week or 2 weeks ago?
I was in here. A lot of jobs get tabled for some reason when I come across here. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's my red face. I have no idea.
You're the one that wanted to do the barn on
Yes,
Great
thank you.
Western?
Yes, thank
Yeah,
you.
okay.
And I got tabled and then it got approved. So I'll see you guys in a few weeks.
Don't take it personally.
Nah, I don't know. But thank you anyways for the approval on the barn.
I appreciate your willingness to bring back, because this is the kind of education that I seek. So
Yeah.
it's good.
Yeah, I mean, just being in the trades for, I mean, not as long as most people, but I see what goes on and I see what gets done without approvals, and we just try to do the right thing, try to do the right path and make sure that we're not putting orange cones out in front of their house.
We appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, so we're good.
Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you. Thanks, Kim, or Patrick.
Okay. The next item is concerned with some construction at 36 Pheasant Cove Circle. Jay Frappy is the owner, and I think his wife is here tonight as well. And Kevin Fair, who is also here, is the agent. So this is adding a dormer on the right side of the garage and a deck along with it and some pillars to hold it up. So this has been evolving over
It has.
a year.
So last time we were here, we were gonna do the dormer with a room down below, 10 by 14,
Right.
deck behind it, so on and so forth. But upon digging for the piers for the room, the first one we dug, we found that the soils were unsuitable to support
that way.
the addition or the deck or something like that. I wasn't comfortable with it. Jay wasn't comfortable with it. Susan wasn't comfortable with it. So that being said, we now would like just to do the dormer up top. And then we're gonna cantilever a 6-foot deck out, same size as the dormer, and go back 12 feet in to the garage. The joist will sit on the beam in the garage. So it will be self-supporting, so we don't have to worry about supporting it from down below. And we added the columns down below just to give it some
Dress it up.
aesthetic value so that it doesn't look like it's just hanging out there.
I just said it also ties it in with the rest of the house, which
Right.
the front porch is, it almost matches the front
Similar.
porch.
Similar.
Yeah. So the idea is to make it all symmetrical and aesthetically pleasing. And we're also looking at, similar to the front porch, we're also looking at putting a little arbor on the side facing the street for the 6-inch part so that it matches both sides.
Is this going to be an office?
No, it's actually more like a sunroom now.
Sunroom.
Yeah, it's gonna have windows and when you visit it, it looks out over the marsh. So it's gonna basically be like a sunroom.
Nice.
It looks out that direction.
I liked it.
Well, so the whole thing was, they really wanted the addition and this and that, but to put it down, I think even Richard, you said, we should put an extra pier in or something like that, but it just, I wasn't comfortable with it. And when I showed them, when we went down 4 feet, it just wasn't there to support it. So we just said, let's go to the next step. And this is what we came up with.
And we will be putting a patio on the ground below, so that there's a patio area down below, but that's the only change.
I think it looks really nice, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Thank you.
It's modest.
You've got the space to do it.
We do.
Are there any abutters or other interested parties who would like to address us on this application?
Okay, do we have a motion? Or any
I move
further
to approve.
question? No? Okay,
Second.
okay. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh, no. You have to sign something
Yep.
before you leave.
Kevin? Thank you. Another routine.
Unfortunately.
7:25.
Looks nice.
Oh, boy.
Okay, we may have trouble on this one too. It's too many solar.
Mhm.
The next item is concerned with installing 17 solar panels on the roof at 84 Early Redberry Lane. The homeowner is Rebecca Earl, and Trinity Solar is the agent. Now, Trinity Solar hasn't showed up tonight, so see if they're going to be here now.
Doesn't look like it.
There's no hands
Lots of-
moving.
Renewal by Anderson. Chad. Mhm. Megan.
Yeah, all three of these are Trinity Solar.
Move to table again.
Yep, I
Yep.
think we table them.
I move to table to the end of the meeting.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Now, this is to paint the house. That's what I like. 17 Wild Rose Terrace. Good evening.
Aye.
You are here,
Finally.
Maria. Is a homeowner, right? Orlando. So. This is partially painted now, isn't it?
It's got the siding that it's got the gray primer. The
Oh,
front,
a primer.
it's just prime, yeah,
Oh,
but that's
okay.
the way it was. It came that way.
When you bought the house.
No, we just had it sided, the front.
Oh,
So the primer is very close to the final color.
It is, it's
Yeah.
gonna look just like that.
but you go all around.
We're gonna do the shingles on all four sides to match the same color, so it looks a little more
Oh,
uniform.
three sides. You're gonna paint the front again?
That's
It's just
prime, so
primer.
we're gonna paint the front.
Oh,
It's
okay,
only
so it will
primed.
go gray.
Yeah,
Okay,
It'll stay there, it'll look similar.
okay, but
and
it's
then
gonna
we'll-
be
We're
painted.
gonna paint
Gotcha.
the shingles on the sides and everything, because they're kind of mismatched
Yeah.
and some are replaced and
Yeah.
new, and so it really, it doesn't look very uniform at the moment, so.
Right.
You,
Oh, it's a nice
you do
look.
anything to the trim?
But no, we're keeping it white.
Are there any abutters? I move to approve the application.
Second,
All in favor?
aye.
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 Thank you.
You can make it drag on longer if you want.
No, no, I'm happy. Do I need to sign
You
or?
have to come up with. So today is.
Aren't you glad you came?
That's
Yeah.
good.
Smart.
You can buy the
Yeah.
paint.
Thank you.
That's it.
You too.
Mhm.
I get mixed up here. I'm sorry, I got these mixed up, guys.
Oh, you used a tabled one?
Yeah. So I crossed them out.
Mhm. I don't think they're gonna. show up tonight.
Too many piles of paper.
Mhm. Yeah, they're all, now we have to have different groups. Try to look at that in the future, to see what I'm signing. Maybe help you a little bit.
No, that goes for all of us.
Yeah.
All signed.
Yeah.
Lemmings.
Okay. Put these with this. Okay, Bray Farm Road. So the next item on the agenda is concerned with replacing the front door at 49 Bray Farm Road South. Michael Farino is the owner and Renewal by Anderson is the agent. Renewal just left a few minutes ago. Right?
No, they're still. here.
Nope,
Jake is
I'm
on.
here if you can hear me.
Oh, good. Okay, Jake.
Let me just, all right, can you hear me now?
Gotcha.
Okay, excellent. How's everyone doing?
Okay,
Moving up.
All right, so yeah, I am Jake. I'm with Renewal by Anderson on behalf of Michael Farino, and we are going to be replacing a front entry door system. Currently, right now, he has a entry door with two side lights, grill pattern on the side light, colonial. We're going to match it like for like. Color match is Mountain Berry Red, which is almost identical to what they have.
Yeah.
And the side lights will match up exactly how they look now.
and you still have the arch over it?
Correct. That's actually not attached to the entryway. That is separate. And that was a main concern of them to have that stay, and they like it. So that will remain.
Mhm.
Works for me.
And this house is set back from the road. A characteristic it shares in common with, there are 4 houses all in a line that have long driveways and are sort of tucked behind the 3 houses in front of them. So
Yeah.
barely going to see it.
Correct. Yeah. It's
Are
tough
there
to
any abutters, nevertheless, who wish to address this? I move to approve the application.
Second,
All those in favor?
aye.
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 Good. So let's see. The next item is also concerned with replacing the front door at 16 Dutchland Drive. Daniel Millville is the owner and Renewal by Anderson again is the agent. So we have Jake again.
Got 2,
Yeah, I'm not on this one. I'm going to mute.
okay,
Steve is ours. I'm Daniel Michael.
Oh, okay, then.
Steve is my representative. He should be on there. Steven, there he is.
you're
Good.
the owner.
Yes,
Gotcha.
we were here 2 years ago and had our windows replaced.
So will the color be, what color is it now?
It's black,
Yeah,
but it's faded. So we're trying to get the color of the blue, the historic blue in there.
I don't think I have it accurately represented.
It was pale
Can you
blue.
hear me now? This is Steve.
What's that, Steve?
Oh, okay, you got me now. I'm sorry. This is Steve Seeger. I'm actually representing, I'm with Renewal. I'm representing 16 Dutchland.
Right, with Daniel here.
You are correct.
Okay, we're just looking for the sample of the blue.
Oh, well, the blue, the actual color of the blue is Geneva blue. It's a little bit lighter than what they have right now.
That looks gray. Well, that's all right. I mean,
Oh, it's not this. It's a little bit lighter. Uh-huh.
That color blue.
Mhm.
He's got the right color.
Yeah.
oh, okay.
In my packet. You don't have it?
Oh, yeah, I do that. I do this one.
That color.
This one. Okay.
It'd be a good change after black.
And really, the door itself is almost like for like. Really, the only the two panels all the way up at the top that are going to be solid. They're glass now, and that's really the only change. And as far as the storm, it's a full view storm, which is very similar, nearly identical to what they have now.
Gotcha.
Good.
Well, I don't see any abutters, so I move to approve the application.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 So Dan, if you would sign off on this.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you,
Welcome.
Steve.
Oh,
Good. They're finished though, right? Yeah. Just as if you can make changes, let us know in advance. Good. Thanks.
good night.
Good luck with it. Okay. So the next item is concerned with replacing 16 windows at 495 Route 6A. Bob Flanagan and Pat Stover are the owners, and Renewal by Anderson, again, is the agent. Now, this house was built in 1800. So, been around.
This is Paul with Renewal. Can you folks hear me?
What's that?
Yeah, can you folks hear me? Because I couldn't see you. There we go. Okay.
that
But yeah, this is
Paul?
Paul McLean with Renewal by Anderson. How are you today?
Very good.
Good.
Great, great. I'm the one handling this one, so whenever you're ready.
Okay. So he's just noting it was built in 1800. It's been around for a while.
Yeah, it has. Yeah, and this is our second phase. We already did half of it. Beautiful thing is you're going to be happy. Everything's like for like. We're doing white windows, 6/6 grids, grills in between the glass, keeping that same historic look.
Yep.
Are you changing any of the windows on the front of the house?
Yep.
I'm sorry.
Yes, all the ones in the front are going to be changed, and they're double hung just as they are with a 6/6 pattern as well. Yep.
What would you, how would you assess the age of the windows currently? How old are they?
They're original. They're really bad.
Bad in what respect?
Oh, they're just not energy efficient. They can't keep paint on it. That's several problems, caulking issues, stuff like that. You know?
Yeah, we've dealt with this question before, and I haven't made an assessment of the windows and their condition. If I had the invitation to do so, I would welcome that, because I live in an old house myself. It was built in 1820. It has its original windows.
Sure.
And there's a reason why these 200-year-old plus wooden windows are still around. I think it would be a shame to replace original windows unless and if they can't be restored or rendered fully operable if that's the desire, and weather tight if that's the desire, and energy efficient if that's the desire. All that can be achieved without replacing the windows, and probably at less cost. So I know that's not music to your ears, but as a preservationist, that's my opinion, and based on fairly extensive experience with antique windows. It's true that you can't get that old growth wood anymore, the wood that's available in 2020.
I agree. It costs a fortune if you could. Yeah.
But
I grew up in a 200-year-old house myself, and I agree with everything you're saying, you know. But you know, we've already done half of their house, and the customer really wants to get it done, but that's, you know, totally.
My main concern is for the windows on the front.
Yeah.
I have certainly far less concern for the windows that aren't visible from 6A, and less concern for the windows on either side of the house. But this is a very prominent antique house in the heart of a historic district, and I think predicated on an inspection of the windows to see exactly what kind of condition they're in, it would be a shame to replace them.
We could probably approve of the other windows.
Mhm.
Here we have 7 windows on the front, and they should be able to restore
Yeah.
them.
And as I said, I would be more than happy to, if the homeowners want to invite me. I also have a preservation contractor who is extremely qualified to come and make an assessment of the windows and make a recommendation insofar as the feasibility of refurbishing the windows, should it be necessary. Assessing the homeowners' concerns for those front windows, and trying to provide them with an acceptable resolution that wouldn't require replacing them. So I'd be certainly willing to approve the application as amended to exclude the 7 windows in the front.
Is that the whole board's opinion, or is that yours? I mean, I just
my opinion at this
yeah.
point. I would.
I mean,
I'm
I
prepared to make a motion, but it has to be
Yeah.
seconded and then voted on.
Yeah.
Okay, so the motion is made.
I agree with that motion. I think this is an incredibly prominent house, and I think consideration should be given to at least having a walkthrough to take a look at the condition of these windows. So I would approve the motion as made with the amendment to it relative to the 7 front windows.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Does that make sense, Paul? Following what was motion?
Yeah, I mean, I just hope that we can get it clear on all of them, because there's several homes like this that we've done and they look beautiful. It's like if some we can do and some we can't, it just gets a little confusing for us and the customers. So maybe we could just make it so it's black and white. It would help us out on our end too, that's all.
I don't think that's going to happen. The motion that was voted and approved is that you may go forward with 9 of the windows and the 7 windows on the front of the house need further review.
Yeah, so we'll go with that then, and we'll respect the board's decision, obviously, and when we want to keep everybody happy, that's for sure.
And so the owners will need to extend an invitation to inspect those windows.
Okay, I'll let them know.
Okay.
The next item is to replace 3 windows at 29 Old Cedar Lane. Renewal by Anderson is the agent. Homeowners Carolyn and Jack Bell. So
Chad must be.
Hello.
Chad,
You're the agent?
Yes, my name's Chad Lohr. I'm representing Carolyn and Jack Bell at 29 Old Cedar Lane.
okay.
We are replacing 3 windows there with what's existing is a bow window that is rotted out and starting to sag. And instead of going with a bow, they decided to flatten that to 3 picture windows, keeping the color the same.
And the arc above it will be the same?
That's going to be reworked into the rest of the siding. So they're losing that whole, it's not going to project out. It's going to flatten down. So we'll weave in any of the siding that's above it.
So it won't project out anymore?
Correct.
Okay. And it'll be black the way it is in the picture?
Black on the exterior, white on the interior.
Mhm.
So it's just this one window,
Yeah,
3.
yep. Instead of being a bowed window, it won't extend out anymore. It'll just be 3 picture windows.
Yeah, if you have the pictures of that, the window to the right of it has 3 picture windows that are currently there.
Similar.
It'll be very similar to that.
Yep.
That's bowed.
The ones that we're replacing that are bowed, but the one that's next to it is not.
Right, so the one that's next to it will stay bowed, but the one that you're changing will be flat.
The one to the right of the windows is flat.
That is flat.
That is flat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it looks it because of the shadow.
Yeah.
Okay, so the area is pretty much the same. When you take out these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 windows, you replace it with 3. The width will be about the same.
The width is going to remain the same. The window sizes obviously are going to widen up.
Right. Okay.
I don't see any abutters present. I move to approve the application.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you very much. Have a great night.
Thank you, Chad.
Okay, the 13th item on the agenda is to replace 36 windows at 49 Carriage Lane. Kenneth Colmer is the owner. Do we have Kenneth here tonight?
No, this is Jake again with Renewal by Anderson.
Okay, Jake.
All right. Just want to make sure you can hear me.
Yes.
So
Gotcha.
Jake, this is all 36, every window?
It's every window in the main home, yes, except for the basement hopper windows out back.
These are basically going to be a like for like.
But it's not.
No, so Dr. Colmer bought this house brand new in 2000, and they went with a new construction Lincoln window. And you'd think after 20 years, 22 years, you'd hope they wouldn't have to replace. But as the house settled, the windows don't even sit flush in their sills properly anymore, and extremely drafty. So they wanted to break up we're going to do full divided light on the grill patterns, but Dr. Colmer and Dr. Laurie wanted to break up the light a little bit and go with 4/4 on the grill patterns.
Oh,
Too bad, but
yeah, I don't think so.
No.
Yeah, this is essentially a colonial revival design.
Yeah.
12/12, and they want to go to 4/4?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were You're not getting, you're not hearing resounding enthusiasm for this concept, I'm afraid.
It's so pretty the way
Yeah,
it
it's
is.
beautiful.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
I can see that they don't fit. The windows right in the front, you can see that they don't fit. I get what you're saying about the settling and everything, but that doesn't necessitate changing the style of the window, which fit this house perfectly.
Yeah.
I can understand changing them, but maintaining them, it says like for like. I think that's the answer.
Yeah.
Would we be willing to accept 6/6 for the reasons you mentioned earlier?
I don't think so. Not on this house. You don't need maybe 12/12, but 8/8 would work.
Where is it again? It's
Those windows, the height of those windows, 8/8, I think works better on shorter windows. But because of the height of those windows, I mean, I guess if that's something that you guys would suggest, I think 6/6 would look better if it was acceptable.
I could accept 6/6.
I'm sorry, I missed that.
I could accept 6/6, speaking just for myself.
Okay.
That would be appropriate for the design of the house. Especially with the entryway and the pediment over it. Has a very circa 1800 look to it. It's not a 1750 revival house particularly.
were the houses on Carriage Lane all built at the same time as a development?
No.
Okay. So that we don't need to worry about wandering from what's surrounding it.
They're all beautiful houses like this. But different
Yeah,
styles.
I think a lot of them have 6/6, if I remember correctly, driving down there.
Will that fit into a 12/12?
Sure, just bigger panes.
Yeah.
Is there any reason to grant the fewer grills, fewer panes in the rear? Does that help them or accomplish a nice give? It really is that,
That'd be all right with me.
really that front that
Yep.
cries for it.
Yep.
What about Chad,
No, this is Jake.
Jake? Oh, sorry.
Yep.
We have two of you.
Yeah, listen, we represented pretty heavy tonight.
You are
I didn't realize there was so many of us on here. I would have jumped in for everybody and given everyone the night off.
Jake, the size of the windows look terrific with the 12/12. Now, if we go to the 6/6, do you have to change the window size overall?
No, we custom make everything to order. So it's the opening are everything about that house, believe it or not, even the exterior, we're going to be inserting into. So we're not touching any of the interior trim or the exterior AZEK casing, the pediments or anything. We are going to insert into every opening.
Yep. We'll maintain the size of the windows.
Yeah, the window will stay the exact same size.
Because that's a factor.
And I want to say, I mean, I want to say the 30 by 60, traditional windows usually about 28 by 53 roughly. These ones are quite a bit larger. And I agree, they are beautiful windows. I don't know if I've said it before with you guys, but I did grow up right off of 6A in Dennis. So I've always loved the look. It is something that they wanted to do. Really, that was one of the main concerns brought up right off the bat, are not concerns, but one of their design changes was to go with that. But I think if I sit with them and discuss a different grill pattern, if it's 6/6, I think that they, obviously it's what I got to try with them.
Okay.
Yeah, my main concern for 6/6 would be for the front and the gable ends. The back of the house has a more contemporary feeling to me, and especially with the solar panels on the roof. I'd be inclined to be more flexible in accordance with the homeowner's desires as far as the grill pattern on the back goes. But I do feel that on the front and on the gable ends, which are a pretty faithful historic reproduction of a period house, that that should be consistent, 6/6.
I think 6/6 all around.
Okay, I'm not against that. I'm just trying to be accommodating to the owners. And they might want more
So,
view or.
Jake, you have any problem with that? I mean,
Could you just, my service, I'm breaking up a little bit here. Give me one moment.
Okay.
I'm over in Brewster, and in the summertime, my service is horrible. So would I be okay with about keeping the front of the house, or you said keeping the back of the house? They could kind of do the 4/4 if they wanted, a little more contemporary look back there. But
I would rather see it 6/6 is basically all around.
I would too, to keep it uniform. I would as well. I don't see any reason why they'd want to keep the back to be something different. In a house like that, I would want to keep it uniform as well.
Good, okay. So could you make a decision on this tonight, or should we postpone it 2 weeks? You can talk to the owners, the doctor, and then we'll vote on it next time.
Yeah, so in other words, we have two options. We can table the application to the next meeting to give you an opportunity to talk to the homeowners, or if you feel that you can speak for them, we could approve the application as amended to reflect that all the windows be divided 6/6.
Okay, so if I approve it, and we, obviously they don't want to move forward with it. It is what it is, and we'd have to come back anyhow. I think just to keep with the supply chain issue of everything in life right now, to keep things moving along, I think I'd like to accept the 6/6 on their behalf and then speak with them. And then if obviously they're not agreeable with it, then we'll submit another application, excuse me, with what they may like.
Good,
Good.
okay.
Does that sound fair? Okay.
All right, I see no abutters present. I move to approve the application as amended.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye,
Aye.
Aye.
good, okay,
All righty, I thank you all, and we'll see you next time.
okay, thank you, Jake.
So I guess we have to, no sign of our friends from Trinity.
So should we untable them and then retable them to another time?
Let's get this done. I have to do this amendment.
Got to capture the amendment.
Yes.
So you're here to witness?
Yeah, we're, we've got a house up there a ways, and one of these days we're gonna be up before you folks. So I just wanted to get familiar with how it all works. It's fascinating anyway. I mean, we've never we live in Kansas City.
Oh.
There's history there, but not colonial history.
Right.
We have the Santa Fe Trail instead of the old Kings Highway. So it's a little different. There's no historic commission right now. So when we bought the house, we didn't realize till after we bought the house that it's in the historic district. So we realized that if we wanted to do anything, we should learn how you folks work. And
Yeah.
clearly, lesson number one, if you're gonna put in solar panels, come to the meeting.
Oh, yeah.
Here, here.
I always say 90% of the job is just showing up.
Yeah, yeah.
Where did you move to here?
we live just a block east of West Yarmouth Road, just south of White Rock on Portsmouth Terrace.
Okay.
It's a ranch house, which was weird because we,
Yeah.
you know, we were thinking we're gonna go to Cape Cod and get a Cape Cod house. Instead, we're coming from Ranchville and we get a ranch house. So there's a couple things that we want to ultimately get done. We want to put a little fence in the back for our dog
Oh, yeah.
because we want to be really good neighbors. And, you know, eventually we'd like to put, it's perfectly situated for sunlight. So we'd like to get, you know, get the 2 layers of shingles peeled off and put new roof on and then solar panels too. So we'll be doing all the due diligence on that. So
I have to say, your meetings are exactly like our council meetings.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Robert's rules.
In our town, it's a suburb of Kansas City. I've been on a few boards.
Mhm.
So I eat this stuff for breakfast. So I've been on the Board of Zoning Appeals, the Homeowners Association. I was the compliance officer.
Oh,
So,
boy.
you know, I had to make sure that everything, they wanted to build a gazebo, they wanted to build a shed, anything like that. It was supposed to go through me. And most people always, they had the attitude, it's easier to ask forgiveness.
Oh,
than
yeah.
Permission.
You bet. Yep.
So,
Yeah, we have a real hard time with that with conservation,
right.
which is.
Right, yeah, we've got
really
some friends
bad.
who have a conservation issue on, they live near one of the ponds.
Yeah.
And they were actually trying to do the right thing, but there was no plan
Oh.
involved, so they have to
Come up with one.
get the I's dotted and get the T's crossed.
Yeah. Good for them.
Yeah, you can, while he's doing that.
Okay.
So this was fascinating. It was good to watch.
It's always good to know
Yep.
how the process works in different cities.
Yogi Berra once said, "You can observe a lot by watching."
Wise man.
I don't know if the Red Sox are playing tonight, but
They haven't actually played for 3 weeks.
Right.
They've shown
They
up.
really have.
That showed up. Yeah, that's not one. of the
28
things
to
with this, they
5.
show- Just showing up in baseball
Oh,
is
my
another thing entirely.
God.
yeah,
Put in
well,
minimal amount of effort.
Yeah, you better believe you. They've been horrible.
Oh.
Haven't won a game in
Royals
5
won
games.
2 games in a row against Tampa Bay.
Wow.
When was that? Like 3 years ago?
This was over the weekend. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, and they haven't won since.
Yeah, but the Sox, you know,
Even I know how bad the score was and I don't watch, but it's.
I'm just going on the attitude that some days you're the windshield, some days you're the bug.
Yeah, well.
And we may not have to write off the year just yet, but we're snake bit. Raffy's gone, JD's gone, Trevor's gone, Chris Sale's gone. I mean, all our money players.
I hate to break it to you, but the year's over.
Oh, come on now.
It's over.
You can't even say it's a building year.
You heard it here first.
yeah, but it's nice.
falling over year.
It's nice that the Woo Sox Red Sox have an opportunity this way to play at Ebbets Field.
Build the team, you look, you know, there's a good farm system. You know, maybe somebody's gonna shine coming in from Worcester or even Portland. We'll see.
Go see
Yeah.
dogs.
Now, we have these 3.
Oh, yeah, okay. Back to business. All right.
It was a pleasure, folks.
Thank you. Glad you enjoyed it.
Meet you.
We'll see you in a matter of months, I hope.
All right.
Nice having a fan club.
We're still splitting our time between here and Kansas City, so we haven't got a whole lot of planning done yet, but it'll be soon.
Awesome.
Has
Good to
Kansas
meet
City
you.
traded Andrew Benintendi yet?
No, they're, I think that's the one thing they're holding on to. They'll get rid of, what's his name? Whit Merrifield first, because he doesn't seem to want to play for a team
There you go.
Doesn't care whether or not he gets immunized or
Oh,
Oh, they all do immunization.
not. They had
wow.
to stay home when they went up to
Toronto, sure.
Toronto. And guess what happened? They had about as much success as they usually do.
Okay,
All right, good
good
night.
night.
Take care, guys.
See you soon.
All righty.
Okay, so
So we have the first guy here, 33 solar panels at Ridgewood Drive.
I move to untable the application.
Second.
Well, they're all three are the same. It's Trinity. Can we do all three?
I don't know, that's up to the chairman.
Yeah.
They're the
why don't-
same
All right.
company.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right,
And we'll call them 22 AO76 and 22
AO78
8.
Number 7.
and AO82.
Yep.
Yep.
All right, I move to untable 22 AO76, 22 AO78, and 22 AO82.
I second.
All in favor on tabling?
Aye.
Okay, now with
Aye.
respect to the same three, should we postpone them to 2 weeks from today?
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay, I move to table the numbers 22 AO76, 22 AO78, and 22
82.
82.
2.
AO82 until the next meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay.
Good. Now, we had received minutes of the meeting for the last meeting, and everyone had a chance to review them. I think we got some input online. It was
The minutes?
minutes.
Yep, no input from anybody.
Not
Oh.
for me.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
I move to approve the minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 And the next meeting will be the 8th of August, right? August 8th, 2022.
Okay.
So we adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
Aye.
Aye.
so hold on for a minute. I'll let them put us off the
Stop
air.
recording.